7:21 Tuesday morning. I'd like to welcome Ashlie Corcoran, the Artistic Director of the Thousand Islands Playhouse in Gananoque, to the show. Ashlie, I think many people in the region are going to be paying closer attention to the Dora May Awards that are going to be coming up because you are nominated for one of these awards.
Yeah.
And just for those who aren't familiar with the Doras, this is an award that's presented every year by the Toronto Alliance for the Performing Arts, and they honor theater, they honor dance and opera productions in Toronto, and you are nominated for Outstanding Directing in the theater division for the play Kiss, which took place over the winter months in Toronto.
That's right, yeah. It was playing, I guess, in April in Toronto at Canadian Stage, and it was a co-production between Canadian Stage, Theatre Smash, which is another company which I founded and run at the same time as running the Playhouse, and also ARC.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
And we have some images of Kiss, and for those who aren't familiar with the play, it's something that really explores the cultural boundaries in the wake of the Syrian conflict.
Yes, the play is exploring Syria and that conflict, but actually really what it's about is how, as artists, we are engaging with large humanitarian crises, such as what's happening in Syria. And so for the first 45 minutes of the play, the audience is watching what looks like a soap opera. And they're trying to figure out why this kind of astute Canadian theatre company, Theatre Smash, ARC, and Canadian Stage are exploring this crisis in this almost sort of trite way. And then at the end of 45 minutes, at the end of this soap opera exploration, one of the actors steps forward. Well, they all have a curtain call. One steps forward and she says that she's the director.
Okay.
And she tells the audience that there's actually going to be a talk back with the Syrian playwright. And they Skype in the Syrian playwright. None of that is actually true. It's all scripted. And so our job was to make people believe that that was actually happening. And in that Skype conversation, the fake actors found out that how they were interpreting the play was in fact incorrect. That there was actually much more deep resonances about what was happening in Syria at the time. And that is something that we as Western audiences and artists are dealing with all the time. Like, where do our cultural understandings end? And so then this fake group of actors go back and re-examine the play a few more times. And then it was important to me that by the end of the play, it was no longer the fake actors on stage, but our actors, because to say like those fake actors didn't understand that play, but we do, is not the point of the play. The point is about how, as theater artists, we're always trying to figure something out, even if our cultural understandings end. The act of pursuing or the act of questioning, the act of being curious is important in itself.
Very
so
interesting.
It was a very difficult play to direct.
Yes.
Like, from a tone perspective. I was also directing a show at the Shaw Festival at the same time, literally at the same time, which is really unusual. So was sometimes Skyping into rehearsals for Kiss, which was funny because the show included a Skype conversation. So it was challenging, and it is so exciting and such an honor to be nominated.
Because this is your first nomination, isn't it?
It's my third nomination as a director.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, we wish you the best of luck,
Thank you.
certainly.
Thanks.
You mentioned spending time at the Shaw Festival as well, working in Toronto, and of course, the summer theatre session has begun in Gananoque.
Yeah.
You're a busy lady. Is that what you like? You like to have a lot on your plate at any one time?
I do like to have a lot on my plate. Yeah, it all feeds me in different ways. The show at the Shaw Festival was a big fat musical. The show in Toronto was, a political understanding. And then what I get to do at the Playhouse is create programming, choose the shows, choose the artists that come. I direct some of the shows myself. And then, beyond that, look at what kind of community engagement we're doing. So right now I know that Rick Miller was here a couple weeks ago. We have a great show called Boom on stage, which closes this weekend. So we only have 7 performances left. It's a play that examines the kind of baby boom generation, and he is a genius. And then the next show that we have on stage opens on the 16th of June, and that's called Million Dollar Quartet. And that's looking at it's looking at Sun Records, which is the birthplace of rock and roll, and a night that Carl Perkins, Elvis Presley, Johnny Cash, and Jerry Lee Lewis in reality actually did a jam session and recorded it together. And this play is looking at what was happening, the true story around what happened around that recording, and also what maybe was happening. Also uses a bit of imagination. Tons of great rock tunes.
Once you see that image,
Yes.
you recognize it. You've seen it many times.
And it's incredible that those guys were actually together.
Oh, certainly. And it all kind of came together just by chance.
Exactly. Yeah.
And quickly, we have another event that's going to be taking place. The opening night of Moonlit Night is also a big fundraiser.
Yes. so the opening night of Million Dollar Quartet is our fundraiser called Moonlit Night. It's the 4th year we've done it. It starts at 5:30 and goes until midnight. It's an amazing evening. This year we're doing something a little bit different called Taste of the Thousand Islands. So we have 15 restaurants from Gananoque and the Thousand Islands region coming in and catering the event beforehand. We also have a rock and roll band called the Limestone Rock and Roll Band, which are members of the Big Fat Horn Band. So you can rock out with them, eat a bunch of food, have some cocktails, then go and see Million Dollar Quartet. And then after the show, we have Reed Cunningham's rock band playing, and so you can dance under the stars on our deck at the Thousand Islands Playhouse. So yeah, it's going to be a beautiful night.
Fabulous.
And that's Saturday, June the 17th.
Okay, thank you, Ashlie, for bringing us up to date on everything going on at the Playhouse,
Thanks
and
for
best
having
of
me.
luck with the Doras.
Thank you. Thanks.
We're back after this.